What's up, guys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. And as you can see, we're doing things a little differently because I'm not behind the camera, I'm in front of it. But that's because I wanted to do a little collection tour video that kind of showcase my little shop I have. I'm fortunate enough to have this 300 square feet to myself, a shop in the backyard. And obviously it's still used as a shop. I got a table saw in here, I got tools, I got my lawn equipment, my lawnmower. But it is a space where I can keep my collection and do these YouTube videos. Right now the collection is just in storage containers and different tubs and different bins, but I know a lot of y'all are interested in how to store your figures. So we're gonna look at how I store my figures, and then maybe at the end of the video we'll talk about my goals for this space so I can actually have my collection on display. So let's go ahead and get into it. Now, as we walk over to my little action figure side of the shop, I want to know where y'all display y'all's figures. Do you have a separate room for them, or are you like me? Are they stored away? I want to know your storage solutions to figures, and also want to hear about what your dream collection room or workshop man cave would be. But as for me, this is basically where I keep all my stuff. Obviously, that over there is the review station. That's where I do my reviews. Got our next video, hopefully, or a couple of videos from now that we'll be posting soon. But each of these storage bins, as there's a couple under the station, and then these are more organized pieces and parts. You know, I try to keep things specific to different places. And since I got a Superman sitting here in the review station, over here, this first bin right here, you can kind of see through the side. That's really my DC multiverse, but only have a couple of Batman and Superman at the moment. I think I'm going to work towards doing a Justice League comic style, but right now, got movie Batman and Superman in there. This next one, that's just parts and pieces, different, just fodder. This next one, this is actually mostly G.I. Joes, but this is kind of what I'd call like my army builder bin. Just different figures for like multiple background characters, you know, your other heroes can fight. So it's generic soldier guys, G.I. Joes, tracksuit mafia, got ninjas in there as well. Then as we go down, this one is all like civilian background characters. And actually, I think one day I should probably do a video on like the different army builder, different civilian characters I've made. You know, I just take other existing figures and make them. But probably the first one I'll do is like my biker gang that I've made. That'd be a kind of an interesting one to start off. But y'all let me know below if y'all want to see those kind of videos for my collection. This next one is more, oh, that's the same one. This next one is more Marvel Legends, extra parts and pieces, that kind of stuff. More suited and civilian characters as we go down. This is actually my comic book character bin, where I got Captain America, Iron Man, Hawkeye, Hulk's down there somewhere too. That'll be for my like Avengers style, you know, comic shelf. And then as we go further down, more random parts and pieces. Go one more further down. This is Star Wars, Indiana Jones / Star Wars stuff in there. And then that bottom drawer is currently junk. I hadn't really had a need for that one at the moment. But as we step back and look under the review station, how I kind of started action figure collecting was with the MCU Marvel Legend figures. And that's what this wide bin is. That's basically what I started with. Just I love the movies, and I loved when Hasbro introduced the photoreal face technology and the figures just look so lifelike. That's when I started collecting. So this bottom one, let's see, this is Iron Man and Spider-Man adjacent MCU figures. We go up one more. This is Captain America and Hawkeye, Black Panther. And then Cosmic is the top bin, where we got Guardians of the Galaxy, Thor, also my Fox X-Men are in there as well. So that's that bin. This smaller bin right here is for stuff that I'm selling on Mercari that I hadn't shipped out yet. This one's another, it's basically pieces I was messing around with, and I just needed to put it somewhere close by, essentially. And then this bottom drawer is actually where I keep all my stands and that kind of stuff. So that's a good drawer to have, you know, just all your display stands Now, as we come back up, this table over here is supposed to be my diorama table. Right now I just got the Raw's War ring, which I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to keep. It kind of takes up a lot of space. I might sell that. If anyone's like super interested in that, hit me up. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it, but I also have some carded figures that one day will be displayed on the wall. The new Secret Wars Captain America. Just like the way that looks. I have the Amazing Spider-Man and Friends Spider-Man on the Amazing Spider-Man card back. I think that was just a kind of cool little swap. And then I have the first retro vintage Captain America on card back, and I think it's really cool. And another cool thing I have in my collection, which is on this diorama table, is the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Defenders pack that had Daredevil, Luke Cage, all those guys in one little train car. So that's a cool thing to have. I just don't have a good place to display it at the moment. But there's also my wrestling figure bin underneath this table. This top drawer is just all, completed characters and their, completed looks. Whereas this next one is more, could be parts and pieces, torsos, that kind of stuff. And then actually got Hulkamania Runs Wild on the bottom there, because I still have my boxes for Ultimate Edition Hulk Hogan's under there. But yeah, that's supposed to be the diorama table. I did have a really cool diorama commissioned from a guy on eBay that I thought was going to be a really cool setup for my videos. After about 6 months of asking about progress and stuff, he ended up ghosting me, so that fell through. But if y'all know anyone that's good with dioramas, let me know in the comments below so I can hit them up. And then we come to this table I think a lot of people will be interested in, because this is really where I can, organize parts and pieces for my action figures. Now, I remember seeing on Mania Figs YouTube channel, he used to have these in the background. And I was like, oh, wow, those are really cool. That's a really cool way to organize and display your figures. But I didn't know what they were called, so I had to try to Google it, like 12 drawer, clear, try to make sure the dimensions were right. And I found them on the internet, and they were always like $80 to $90. They were super expensive. It's like, that's not really worth it. But then one day at my local TJ Maxx, just in the home area, they had them, and they were for $30. I was like, so I grabbed just one of them, brought it back, and I was like, oh yeah, these are legit. They're the perfect size, because like a 6-inch, 7-inch, even 8-inch figure can fit inside of them. And so the next month I went back to DJ Maxx and they had another one, so I bought 2. And then maybe like 2 months later, I was like, let me get one more. I actually wanted to get 2 more. They only had 1 left at that point, so I got them. But they're a really great way to organize characters and parts for those specific characters. So like right here, got like Attitude Era Rock, and then we got like Promo Gear Rock. Here's more modern day Rock. Stone Cold has his own drawer, and so on and so forth. There's the Undertaker's drawer, Shawn Michaels drawer, and then I even got some of my like Indiana Jones has his own drawer. That's the CT Toys Wolverine, Marvel Legends Wolverine, that kind of stuff. So it's a really good way to organize figures on their own with their own accessories. Now for accessories that don't really have a permanent place to live, I have a lot of these little tackle boxes. I have this really big one here. I think I got this one at Walmart. Walmart always has good tackle boxes over in like the fishing aisle or close by the automotive. So this one just has tons of extra heads. Now some of these extra heads are like, the alternate head for some of those Marvel Legend figures, but then some of them are more like, I can use for other figures and that kind of stuff. Especially this one with just like wrestling figure heads. This one is more so like, I'll never use this Daniel Bryan head, but I can put it on a background character in a shot like that. So got all the heads, hands, lots of different hands. Lots of different hands in this box here. And then we have a box like this one, this smaller tackle box, which has just kind of just random accessories in it. You know, everything from lamps to fire effects to batarangs, basketballs, foods, Nerf guns, you know, shovels, spears. Some of those longer weapons kind of fit in there. Jetpacks, books, that kind of stuff. That goes in this container. And now this other container here, this one's very wrestling specific because it's got soft goods shirts and other soft good items, knee pads, belts, and then some few wrestling specific heads have gone into this bin. Now, that container, just like this one and this one, I got at Lowe's. So Lowe's has them in a couple of different sizes and they're pretty good. This one, this is, you know, like neck pegs and joints or pins, ankle joints, that kind of stuff for wrestling figures. This one is mostly wrestling figure stuff, but it's like microphones, briefcase, hats, chains, sunglasses, that kind of stuff. And then we have these other kind of bins, which I believe these are from Dollar General. So these are pretty cheap bins. You can pretty much go to Dollar General at any time to pick them up. They come with a lid. So this one, that is arms. That is wrestling figure arms. Underneath it, some Ultimate Edition torso pieces. That one is boots, just boots for wrestling figures. And then that one's for hands, wrestling figure hands. I actually will open this one up. And what I ended up doing is by like type. So we got like grip hands, fist, pointer / signature hands, open hands. This one's the Jazzwares AEW figure hands, and then gloved hands. So that's kind of how I organized hands. So I can just know if I need an extra one for an extra, you know, for a special pose or something, that's the box I go to. Now the rest of these are probably, yeah, this is either, you know, just my regular Marvel Legends / smaller scale figure stuff. So there's boots, arms, neck pegs, and that one right there. We'll move that out of the way. This one is all rubber coats and jackets and such, in case I need to put a jacket on someone. Now this is our armory. This is where we're getting into the weapons. So different kinds of weapons, you know, bow and arrows, longer like sniper rifles, you know, other assault weapons, shotguns, random weapons, handheld, melee weapons, that kind of stuff in here. Let's delatch that from the bottom. Let's see what the next one is. And so yeah, this one, we got some random Captain America shields, but this is backpacks, some Wakandan weapons, but this is holsters, backpacks, straps, those kind of things for Army, G.I. Joe military types. This one is the effect pieces. So we got our Doctor Strange effects, we got our blast, we got our lightning effects, there's some fire effects in there, some Iron Man parts and some Thanos parts also. Can't forget we got some Spider-Man webbing there. And then that very bottom one, this is just ones, I think that these are all parts and pieces besides these little animals, these cats and ants. These are pieces I need to dye. I want to get the synthetic dye out and dye black. Now this next little section just has some boxed items. I really don't know what I'm doing with, but I still have them. This is actually a cool little box, but it's been beat up. This was the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Grandmaster and the Collector MCU, and I liked it and I kept it because it could make for a cool diorama piece with these different inserts that are in here. So maybe one day I'll utilize that. But then I have the Ultimate Edition Muhammad Ali box, which I don't need to keep. Got the Roddy Piper and George the Animal Steel box, which I don't need to keep either, but I like the card-backed things, those boxes that are inside that box. So I have to figure out what I'm going to do with that. This box is actually I guess it was like Snake Eyes, the very first Snake Eyes deluxe thing from Hasbro G.I. Joe when they launched the Classified series. I actually won this in a contest on Instagram from Hasbro Pulse, so that was a pretty cool thing. This was literally like the only thing I've ever won, So that was cool to be able to get that figure in that fashion. But now as we get to this bin over here, this first drawer, and this is where I keep like inserts from boxes that I could potentially use as background pieces. I don't keep everything, and I try not to keep boxes as much, but you got stuff like this, like the Doctor Strange one's pretty cool. I know like the J. Jonah Jameson box came with the Daily Bugle little background, which I could totally reuse for like, you know, him doing his little online stream kind of thing from the movie. And of course, a lot of the box sets for WWE figures are nice and big and wide, so I like to keep those. So I have options for those, just for photography and that kind of stuff. Then we go down. This box, yeah, this is just stuff that is still in boxes, like my NECA, Predator, Terminator, Godzilla, that kind of stuff. The Stan Lee box. Still have one Wolverine on card, as they say. My Mayfax, Captain America, some Batman figures are also in there. So that's just what's in that one. And then this bottom one, this is bigger figures that can't fit in those other bins. This is Thanos, Hulk, Build-A-Figure, whether they're completed or just parts. That Owlbear I got from Ollie's. And then more so like, you know, diorama type pieces are in this box here. So that's where all the figures are right now. But I do have this one stack of bins that's for paints and tools and stuff. Of course, I got my electric tea kettle. I use that for heating figures up to swap out parts. But this is the paint drawer. Paint brushes and pens and markers. Go down further. Acetone, paintbrush cleaner, Q-tips, that kind of stuff. Sticky tack, tape, super glues in there. This is a very important drawer because this has all like my pliers and blades, X-Acto knives, that kind of stuff. And then this is sandpaper, magic erasers, that kind of stuff. And then I got tools just laying here. I need to put them up. I normally try to keep them on this little thing over here. This is where I got some extra light stuff, but this is supposed to be where I keep like the Dremel and the hairdryer and the heat gun. They're supposed to go on here. I was a little lazy, didn't put those up. I need to put those up. But besides all that, that's mainly everything. And one last thing I want to show. So I have these two IKEA Detolfs, and I had these since like 2018 at least. And back when I was a single adult male living on my own, I had these in my living room with all my figures displayed. But when you get married, things change, and obviously I'm not gonna have all my action figures in the living room when we have company over. But I still have these, and I think they're mainly eventually will be for not figures, but more like, you know, my memorabilia kind of stuff, like these bigger collectible items. Of course, I got my Captain America shield up on the wall, and then I have this bin right here. This is all like my Marvel comic poster, comic cover poster stuff that I'll put on the wall. So basically, one day my dream goal is to take this shop, take all this wall, cover the walling, get some actual flooring in here, and make it more of a man cave than just a shop. And then that way I'll be able to put some shelves on the wall and really have everything displayed instead of just in containers, in boxes, and bins. But that's the ultimate goal. So, I'm doing this video in January of 2025. Maybe by January 2026, we'll have a completely renovated workshop and have it more of a man cave with everything on display. At least that's the goal. And I appreciate everyone who has supported this channel, because you're kind of helping me towards that goal, giving me that extra push to be able to complete and renovate stuff here in my backyard in the shop. So thank y'all for the support. Thank you for the comments. Definitely want to hear about how you display your figures in the comments below. But of course, I welcome every comment, whether it's positive or negative. I try to read all of them. I try to respond to all of them. And of course, hey, if you're like, I want this to be a safe community too here on YouTube. So if you're going through something, need someone to talk to, leave a prayer request in the comments below, and I will pray for you, and I'll listen for you. So just know I'm here for you in that regard, because y'all are here for me as y'all watch these videos. You know, I only have 1,700 subscribers at the moment, but that's over 1,000 people that are consistently watching the action figure stuff I put on YouTube. So I really am grateful for that, and I can't wait to see how my videos progress, how this workshop out here progresses, and that's thanks to how y'all support me. So I'm excited for the next video. Got some, you know, customs lined up for the near future, so I can't wait to show those to you, and I'll see y'all next time.